Hi, hi. My name is Elisa Samudio, and today I want to talk about Australia. First, table of content. So I'm going to give a little general information, the geography, the states, the important cities, the information of the population, the languages, the religion, the culture and the tradition, the animals, the plants, the interesting places, the conclusion, and the bibliography. So first, the general information. Australia is officially known as the Commonwealth of Australia, and it's a country located in Oceania. It is known as the smallest continent, but is also known as one of the biggest countries in the world. This country is located between the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean, toward the southern part of the hemisphere. One interesting fact is that the seasons in Australia are totally the opposite um, of the seasons in Europe. For example, when it's winter in Australia, it's summer in Europe. And Australia, as you can see, is composed by 7 territories. So it's Western Australia, Northern Territory, South Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and Tasmania. And the capital of the country is Canberra. So I want to talk about the geography. So Australia is the largest island in the whole world, and it has an area of 7.69 million of kilometers. It has many mountains like the Mount Kosciuszko, the Mason Peak, and the Mount Uluru, that is the largest monolith in the world. And it's Australia is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Antarctic Ocean. It has a very large economic zone, and Australia is one of the driest and flattest countries, and it has very little fertile floors. And in the southeastern part of the country, there is a climate like temperate, and in the northern part, there's a tropical climate with jungle, forest, and deserts. So, like Australia has many type of climates and temperatures, these changes cause cyclones, drought, and ocean currents. Now I want to talk about the states. So first I want to talk about New South Wales. So New South Wales is located in the southeastern part of the country and is the oldest and most populated state, and the most important city of this territory is Sydney. This zone has a very hot climate, and it's much more temperate, full of mountains, hills, and peaks. Now I want to talk about Queensland. So Queensland is next to South Wales, and there are most famous beaches of Australia. From there you can see the Great Barrier Reef in the northeastern part. It's the main city of this zone is Brisbane, with very beautiful landscapes, and Queensland is known as the Sunshine State. And in this part of Australia are many fertile areas. Now I want to talk about Australia, that is the smallest state and is in the southern part of New South Wales. The main city of the zone is Melbourne, and there are different temperatures and climates, such as temperate and humid. And in these zone there are many rivers. Now I want to talk about South Australia Northern Territories. So these two parts are the last populated territories of Australia. And here the interesting fact that is that there's a place called Outback in which there are many deserts, a little fertile flowers, and many animals, many extreme sports to do, and great places for tourists. Western Australia is the biggest Australia territory and one of the least inhabited. All the population of this zone is located on Perth, and um, is a mining state. So now I wanna talk about a little of the important cities. So there's Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Adelaide, Hobart, and Perth. So a little information of the population. So there's 25 million of people in Australia, and all the people live in the coast and capital cities. And there's 3 inhabitants per kilometer. Now I want to talk about the languages. So the most important language in Australia is English with a 70%, and after Mandarin with a 2.5%, Arabic with 1%, Cantonese with 1.2%, Vietnamese with 1.2%, and Italian with 1.2%. There's many hideous languages, but the important language in this country is English. So I want to talk about the religion. So the majority of the population of Australia is Catholic, but there's other religions like Islam, Hinduism, Syncretism, Buddhism, Judaism, Zoroastrianism, and others. And 30% of the population are no believers. So now I want to talk about a little of the culture and traditions of Australia. So although the UNU declared Australia as one of the countries with the highest happiness index globally due to the simplicity of his people, and because they are friendly, respectful, and relaxed. In addition, Australia is a multicultural place, and most of the population practice some physical activity like sports such as surfing, golf, hiking, athletic, soccer, cycling, diving, and others. And there are different events of sports with a great tourism attraction like AFC Asian Cup Australia of soccer, Australian Open of tennis, and Santos Tour Down Under of cycling. This culture is also famous because of his huge respect for the nature. So they 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 take care of the animals and also of the bugs and all kind of animals. So now I want to talk about a little of the animals. And in in Australia, as we know, there are many types of vegetation. So they are different landscapes. There are 37 species of whales and 21 species of dolphins. There are camels, there are bats, there are kangaroos, there are koalas, wombats, and more than 316 species of birds, such as the emu, the blue penguin, the black swan, and the pelican. And in the Great Barrier Reef, than there are many species of fish, such as clownfish, frogfish, surgeonfish, and seahorses. Now I want to talk about a little about the plants. So there's plants such as woolly pine, eucalyptus, brochylistus, red fire tree, latania, acacias, myrtaceae, fabaceae, and grevillea. In Australia, there's many interesting places, as we already know. So one is the Great Barrier Reef, that is the largest coral reef in the world, with many different species of fish, and there's many species of corals. And it's one of the biggest attractive of Australia. Other attractive of the Australia is the outback, that is the desert area. So there you can find the Mount Uluru, and you can find animals like red kangaroos, wallabies, lizards, birds, and then there's the 12 apostles. They are very close to Port Campbell, and they are protected by the 12 Apostles Marine Park. There you can find the spectacular arches, canyons, and reef. And many animals that live in this area are animals like birds, penguins, seals, whales, lobster, and reef fish. And there's a great variety of reefs. And the 12 apostles have this name thanks to the Bible. And nowadays you can only see 7 rocks because it's a very old place. It has 20 millions of years. So yeah. In conclusion, Australia is a very interesting place because of his cultures, his interesting places, his animals, his people, and personally, I will love to travel to Australia to see and discover this amazing culture and these amazing natural places. Thank you.